places. They cross the line again. It's still Roma who leads. The gap, 4 seconds now to second place AC Milan. Liverpool third in the league, third on the track in race 1.
And Beijing and Porto being a little bit slower, but still kind of following the leaders, who are all lapping in the 28s now.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on the lap times. Atletico Madrid, 1:29.5, quicker than the men in front of them, certainly quicker than Sevilla. So a real Spanish battle ensuing between Sevilla and Atletico.
Yeah, and having a look at Frank, he's very relaxed.
He's a cool customer,
clean.
isn't he?
Yeah, very relaxed and very clean lines. You can see he's not pushing so much, keeps the tires, save them, and just to make sure he's going to have them working well until the end of his first stint or run before the pit stop.
He's another man who missed out in the shuffle of champ cars. He got a IndyCar ride with AJ Foyt for a while, lost that, and has been sort of looking for something new to take him back to the States. And of course, Superleague just came at just the right time for him. And I think he's taking every advantage, don't you?
Yeah, I think he has. I mean, he never drove the car before. Just got there yesterday morning, had probably 40 minutes in the car. And there you go, he's on pole position. He never did that superb format of qualifying, and they just gave him the car, and he said, what do I have to do? Well, try to put the car on pole, and that's what he did. Yeah. So no, it's true. He's shown great abilities in America. Did second in the championship in Atlantics. Just did a little bit of Indy Lights and won some races immediately in the middle of the championship. And it's just because the champ car failed to continue the championship, died, that he couldn't carry on, but he was fifth on his first ever race.
Not a lot of places to overtake, as we've mentioned. Man most likely, though, Beijing Guan and David Regan in fourth position, chasing Liverpool, in my mind, as we go on board now with Liverpool FC.
And Adrian Valles on board, up the gears in fifth and then in sixth. Very late on the brakes there, makes the apex, stays tight into the corner. That's the line. Car is sliding a little bit as he puts back the power, using all the track length, width over the curbs. Again, braking hard. The track is very bumpy and very slippery there. You see the minimum speed is not so good. Again on the curbs, using all the track which is given to him, and this is very tricky here. You can see him over the curbs again, with Beijing being very close to him there.
Yeah, you can see Beijing now not quite close enough as we come into the last turn, and this is a very tough turn into the sunshine. 3.2 G acting on them. It really is. You're wanting to get on the throttle earlier than you want, and again Beijing not close enough as the leader goes through. AS Roma still leading. The gap now almost 5 seconds, 4.9 to be exact. And so Roma pulling away. Third place is Liverpool, but they are still getting a lot of attention from Beijing. Porto still fifth, and Corinthians in the top 6.
Yeah, AS Roma is currently 5/10 quicker, half a second quicker every lap than anyone behind him in the top 3.
Now, Bruce, the pit lane is open, and that means they can now come in and do their mandatory pit stop. Where would you come in?
Well, if you're in the middle of the traffic, I would come in now, and I'm sure we're going to see some cars coming in the next lap.
Presumably the leader will stay out. He's got clean air.
Yes, presumably the leader should stay out and try to extend his lead. And basically, when the guys who would have done the pit stop are coming back on track, if they're in front of him, then it's probably the time for him to do his pit stop.
Okay, we've got our footballing pack of cards. We're about to shuffle them because we are about to get, there's Tristan Gomendi for FC Porto. We're about to get them all coming in. The tyres, I can see out of the corner of my eye, all coming out into the pit lane. Everybody moving and waiting and anticipating their car coming in. And we are looking at Tristan Gomendi of FC Porto, representing Portugal. Huge support FC Porto have here. A lot of expectation at the Estoril circuit. At the westernmost point of Europe right now.
And he continues, he carries on because he has no traffic in front of him. He has the Corinthians with Antonio Pizzonia just as in gearbox following him. But he carries on because he has a free track in front of him. And I think just now we're seeing some cars coming into the pits. And I think Liverpool is actually in the pits.
And Anderlecht have come in as well. So Liverpool have come in, Anderlecht have come in. There is Liverpool. They are in and out. Great pit stop. Wow, that was quick.
Yeah, that was a fast one.
That's quicker than Torres. Brilliant. And Adrian Valles, out he goes. And look at that also.
Oh no,
AS
Roma.
They've lost the lead. AS Roma have come in. Now I wasn't expecting that at all.
No, I wasn't expecting that either.
Is that a bit of an experience from Frank Barrera's point of view?
No, I don't know what happened there. Maybe they had tires which were going away and he wanted to do an early pit stop, but they made a mistake because they had a very slow pit stop. They must have had a problem, and Liverpool was very fast, and now they're leading. So now it's up to Frank to try to close up and try to make a move.
Well, this makes the race very interesting indeed. AS Roma were putting in superb laps. They came in, they pitted longer than Liverpool, and Liverpool are out in front of them. Fascinating. There's plenty more shuffles to come though. But one thing we can be sure of is that AS Roma are chasing Liverpool.
Okay, now it's time for them to focus. It's time for Liverpool to push hard. It's time for AS Roma to concentrate and try to close up the gap.
Had a chat with Adrian Valles yesterday. Really serious about making Estoril count because they have their eye, and even though this is the first year of Super League Formula, Liverpool, as they are in football, want to win straight out of the box, and Valles knows the responsibility that Liverpool fans have on him, and he was concentrating fully on where Beijing were, where Eindhoven, who were nowhere in this race, right at the back, 16th position, and a lap down. Guon did a quick change, a little bit slow out by David Rigon.
Yes, he wasn't very fast, but as you could see, he has new tyres on now. So it means that probably like AS Roma, they saved one set of new tyres, and that's why they pitted early to make sure they could use a brand new set of tyres and try to oh, and
AC Milan just getting ahead of Liverpool there. So interesting because AC Milan have done their pit stop and are out, and as you can see, Liverpool now chasing them.
And I just wonder now, AS Roma is probably in third position and maybe even behind Beijing, so they probably lost 10 seconds. Yeah, no, they're just in front of Beijing, so he's currently third position. Liverpool's going to make a move.
And here we go, Liverpool going for it, flat out. And Olympiacos way at the back.
Just in front of them.
And here we go, this is the battle we want to see, and Liverpool have got past AC Milan, excellent stuff.
He made
AS Roma still under pressure now from Guon, but Liverpool are the team to watch, without a doubt. And they've just made mincemeat of AC Milan down the main straight. So the back straight, I should say. Yeah,
the back straight. But so now we have a fight with Beijing and AS Roma, and we have Liverpool who just made a move on AC Milan. Now it means that Frank Barrera has a car between himself and the leading car, who's going to make it very hard to win.
Here's another look at Liverpool's move. Down the back straight, flat out, 280k into the left-hander, and Liverpool making it stick.
Around the outside, please.
You like that?
That was very nice.
Yeah, well, you told me there's nowhere to overtake except down the front straight. Sorry, Adrian Valles does not agree.
No, yeah, he just made me lie, so no, very good move. And AC Milan again.
Oh, Guon also pushing a lot of pressure there in fourth place. And that was real pressure there because Guon going onto the grass for a moment there in fourth place.
And we are seeing actually AS Roma in Beijing. Beijing coming back towards AC Milan, so we're going to have a very exciting race there too.
So officially, Porto lead from Corinthians, Galatasaray, Atletico Madrid, Sevilla. Liverpool are 7th, Milan behind them. There's Guon going for it.
That was very tight. Okay, those two guys, they have to understand each other, try not to make a stupid mistake, and try to go back and fight for the podium. AS Roma, again, the fastest in the race on the last lap with a 1:28.1.
Porto lead the race from Corinthians. 1.4 seconds the gap between the two of them. Waiting for third place, and that is Galatasaray. They cross the line now. It's all change around, but it's all to do with pit stops, and of course the top two have yet to pit. Galatasaray have pitted. So too have Atletico Madrid. So the shuffle is on. But we await to see where Porto and Corinthians will rejoin as we go back on board with Porto. That engine sounds pretty sweet to me.
It does. In 6, down the gears. And back on the power. That's nice. So Porto is actually currently doing a good job. Porto and Corinthians, they have a clear lap ahead of them. So they're just using it and using it as long as possible. thinking that they probably started with good sets of tires, trying to get the best out of them. And he's currently leading, but it's only because they haven't made any pit stops yet.
Yeah, Porto started the day in 9th position in the league. They've been one of the